Welcome back, it's Ryzen, and today I'm finally going to be talking about Kallavan. I'm going to be going over why he is such a great character, some of the more complex themes and connections that you may have overlooked, and of course why I believe he must betray Jahad. If you enjoy Tower of God content, you're in the right place for it. Consider checking out my channel, and if you like what you see, subscribing is the best way to not only support the channel, but to ensure that you don't miss any Tower of God content. Additionally, if at any point throughout this video you catch yourself enjoying it, be sure to leave a like as it really does help support the channel. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the discussion. So the first thing I wanted to talk about regarding Kallavan is his backstory. Kallavan lived in an isolated area and belonged to a family that guarded a gem called the Essence of Bravery. Whenever a person from the family becomes a ranker, they fight the person that is currently guarding the gem, with the stronger ranker killing the weaker one and replacing them as the guardian of the gem. Eventually, Jin Sung-ha ended up finding the essence and he fought Kallavan. During their fight, Jin Sung opens Kallavan's eyes to the fact that he will inevitably die and achieve absolutely nothing with his life. And Jin Sung makes a good point here. I was reading around online and I found out that the Essence of Bravery is actually a bad translation, and a more accurate one would be the Essence of Void. This can be interpreted in many ways, but the way I see it, this is SIU straight up telling us that this family's actions are useless, meaningless, empty, void, you get it. When you think about it, if Kallavan's family never used that system of protecting the essence, they could have had a huge family with many rankers, but instead they sacrificed that down to one man, and they did it all for the sake of defending nothing. They're kind of retarded. The cycle this family goes through to protect the essence has two possible endings. One, the gem is destroyed, which would literally trivialize the entire existence of their family. Or two, someone from the family consumes the gem, and in the case of Kallavan, either he's the one to do it, or he wastes the rest of his life doing absolutely nothing for hundreds of years until he is brutally murdered by a member of his own family. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this was a good enough reason for him to consume the essence. Now, what I'm about to say is probably totally overanalyzing and complete nonsense, but just hear me out. This may be seen as foreshadowing of Kallavan betraying Jahad. Kallavan is someone who is incredibly loyal, even to the extent of being willing to lay down his life for the gem. He is someone that embraces its inevitability, and he thought it was useless to try to resist the fate of being bound to the gem. But once his eyes had been opened, he was willing to relinquish that loyalty and act out of self-interest. I believe that this exact same sequence of actions and emotions will be repeated with his loyalty towards Jahad. Kallavan constantly states that Jahad is someone who is inevitable, and he is willing to do anything for him, very similarly to how he was with the Essence. But of course, as I said earlier, that could just be me looking too far into it, but there's actually a parallel that was created by the most recent arc that I think was actually very intentional by SIU, and that is the connection between Kallavan and Wang Wang. I covered this in detail in my discussion on the dog and cat arc, which you should totally watch, by the way, link in the description, but basically, Wang Wang's character completely embodied the idea of loyalty, and even after Trauma Ray had killed the love of his life in front of his eyes, he was still loyal to him. Wang Wang was loyal to the bitter end and died a sad death. This is because Wang Wang is not human. SIU has gone above and beyond to portray human nature throughout the entirety of Tower of God. He shows how complex we truly are. We love, we hate, we betray, and we do all of these things because we're human. We are the most inconsistent creatures to ever exist, and Kallavan is human. He is a complex being. He isn't truly bound to the idea of loyalty like Wang Wang was. This is why Kallavan must betray Jahad. It will complete SIU's narrative depiction between man and animal, and it will also make Kallavan's character come full circle. His character development will both begin and end with him turning his back on inevitability and embracing what he truly wants. Does that sound familiar to you? It probably should, because that is the same character development route that SIU has taken with Baam. Baam and Kallavan are both bound by their destiny, Baam's destiny being to kill Jahad and Kallavan's to serve him. But both Kallavan and Baam started out ignorant, Kallavan blindly guarding the essence and Baam blindly following Rachel. They then eventually realize their true destiny and realizes that it aligns with how they view the world. But in my opinion, neither of them are truly convinced. Neither Baam or Kallavan have truly embraced themselves yet, and they're still walking a path that has already been laid out for them. Does Baam truly want to kill Jahad deep in his heart? I don't know. Does Kallavan truly want to serve Jahad deep in his heart? Again, I don't know. I just think it would be really interesting to have SIU take the route of both of them truly forsaking their destinies and doing things that they 100% want. Both Baam and Kallavan are actually good people. They both have a way of earning the hearts of people pretty much instantly. The parallels are definitely there, so I definitely think that we could see a future where Baam refuses to kill Jahad and Kallavan refuses to serve him. How will we get there? I have no idea. If you want more on how I think he compares to Baam, I went over some other examples in my Rachel character analysis video, which again is linked in the description. You already know I gotta be plugging my stuff, so check that video out if you're interested. But for now, let's move on. The final thing I wanted to tackle in this video that actually helps to justify my idea that Kallavan will betray Jahad is that Kallavan doesn't actually love or care about Jahad himself. He is actually more drawn to the idea of what Jahad is and represents. Kallavan's mentality is that he believes in order for there to be peace, there must be something that forcefully creates it. In his mind, peace is only attainable through total domination. Kallavan doesn't really care who this omnipotent being is, he just cares that it exists, and so long as it does, he will serve it. Not because he is loyal to that being itself, but because he is actually using that being as a means to an end to attain peace. We know this because Kallavan's morals are different than that of Jahad's. He even does things that he knows for a fact that Jahad will disapprove of, such as teaming up with Baam. But on the other hand, Kallavan is willing to do things like sacrifice his arm or even his friends. But these things slowly break him and eat him away from the inside. And eventually, I believe that he will reach a point where he is asked to do something that he simply cannot do in good conscience, and then he will remember all of the things that he's already done, and he will realize the error of his thinking and change. And yeah, that's about it for the video. Thank you so much for making it to the end, and don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to make sure you don't miss any Tower of God content. Also, thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers. It means a lot to me, and I hope that we could get to 800 soon. So all contributions to that would be very much appreciated. One last thing, thank you guys so much for supporting my chapter review last week. I decided to fast pass all the available chapters so I could have plenty of time to plan those videos out in terms of like thumbnails and whatnot. So most of the time I'll probably have the videos ready before the chapter even comes out, but obviously uploading them before the chapter is released wouldn't really be ideal with the algorithm and whatnot because most people read it when it's out for free. So I'm considering making a Patreon and dropping all my chapter reviews early on there. It would help support the channel, and it would also offset the cost of me fast passing the chapters. It would probably be like $5 a month or something, and you'd get access to every chapter review super early. Plus I'd shout you out in the video as well, and I might even upload other content on there like One Piece as well. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely launch one if a small handful of people are interested. Alright, that's all I've got. I'll see you guys in my next video, and goodbye.